Oh no, it seems like we are surrounded. Looks like it's time to go further beyond. No, stop, it's too risky. Oh no! Wait, you did all that to kill a slime? Do you think this is some kind of game to you?
This isn't a game.
Oh. Okay then.
Lit.
Now that's comedy.
Alrighty, looks like we got a spicy new game here, and it's Dragon Quest XI. You know, from the really popular series in Japan.
Oh yeah?
Now this game, being on the HD consoles, is all bright and shiny. Ooh. Which is what got me to play it, and yes, I'll be honest, this is my first ever Dragon Quest game. Well, if you don't count this. Why did I even buy this?
That doesn't make any sense.
So let's hop right on into this game and see why Japan love questing the dragons. Well, in the usual JRPG fashion, we have a pre-rendered cutscene showing the fall of a kingdom, but not before the queen saves her son by throwing him into the river. And gee, I wonder who the main protagonist is.
Man.
Well, our character is saved by this old man, who definitely has no relation to another story with a guy called Goku. And instead of being a prince, he's now a village boy. Also, is it just me? But what's with sticking giant trees in the middle of your JRPG world?
What about it?
So here we meet this childhood friend, Gamma, and this big ol' adorable doggy.
Oh, you're such a good boy, such a good boy.
So we learn that this town has this ceremony thing to signify when kids become adults, and all they gotta do is climb this huge monster-infested mountain.
Wonderful.
So we shimmy on up the mountain, absolutely destroying our foes along the way, and upon reaching the top, a bird comes charging in, but our magic symbol on our hand, which definitely isn't there because we are the chosen one or anything, calls upon Zeus to obliterate the bird. Yay, we are now grown-ups!
Now we're grown-ups.
What did you say?
So we now head home and tell our mother about the hand thing, and she freaks out.
Such a good boy.
Because her son isn't a normal boy, and that now she has to tell us this information, which the granddad told her, that due to the mark on our hand, we are actually the reincarnation of the luminary. Yay! It's another word for the chosen one. And that to find out more, we have to click show more in the description, or in other words, head to the Regent's castle and speak with the king.
Crikey.
Dinner.
Jeez.
Okay, again, before we go, we gotta say bye to our childhood friend, because no, she ain't a main party member. She tells us how the world was terrorized by an evil monster back in the day, and that the luminary then saved them. So like, maybe you think like we have to save the world from a monster since we are now like the luminary.
Whoa, no way.
So in the morning, the town sees us off with a shiny new horse, and away we go, all alone on our big JRPG adventure. As we wander off by ourselves, we start to learn just how much of a blob our main character is. He doesn't respond to anything, making him one of the blankest slate characters I've ever seen. After a while, we arrive at the castle area, Heliodor, and boy, this game is so beautiful. Trust me when I say this, the team really used the engine to its fullest, with absolutely amazing scenery, and the fact that a lot of the rooms and houses in the world don't have any loading times. So yes, you are free to run around ransacking the place.
Really?
You're such a good boy.
We make our way into the castle, telling everyone that we are the luminary, and upon reaching the throne we see the king, who throws us in prison. Oh great, he says how we are the Darkspawn, the one who brings the evil, because I guess he feels threatened on his throne. Okay, like settle down there buddy, my haircut isn't that threatening.
Yes.
Now in prison we meet this charming dude, whose name is Eric, and he kinda freaks out hearing from us that we are the Luminary. So freaked out in fact, that he knocks out the guard and helps us escape, as he says some fortune teller told him to look out for us. But of course, in a high security jail as this, we find guards everywhere and have to battle our way out.
Another one bites the dust.
But one wrong move and we fall into the cavern below, where we see a giant dragon. You know, that's surprising in this game called Dragon Quest.
Seriously?
Anyway, I'm sure it will be fine if we battle him. So you know what? We need to exercise and let's just run in this direction. After escaping and finding out Eric's a Super Saiyan,
That doesn't make any sense.
he joins our team. And now we are on the outskirts of Heliodor, where Eric bargains with us to help him retrieve something back from inside the castle town, and thus he will help us then get back home, because the king is sure to have done something to our town, being the supposed home of the Darkspawn. So without much incident, we make it back into the castle town to find Eric's old crime partner, who supposedly has an expensive red orb they stole years ago. But
Eric, my brother, my compadre,
he sold it to get rich.
You're serious?
But no matter, as he sold it back to the king, who stored it in this off-site dungeon, and that's our next area. But on the way we see this dog. Nothing out of the ordinary here. But then we see this tree branch, which is way more shocking, because it's somehow the tree branch of Yggdrasil, the floating tree through the air.
Wait, really?
Anyway, the point is that as the chosen one, we can use our magic hand power thing to touch the tree, to then see the past of what happened in that area. Think of it like we hack into the security camera of the place, and we find out that this dog was a human. It seems like this monster, which can talk for some reason, and sounds very familiar,
Tricky devil at your service.
decided to just troll the man by turning him to old Woofer here. So he destroyed the monster, which turns the dog back into a human.
And you've got great hair too.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I've been keeping quiet on this for a long time. I know I mentioned before how I don't like how blank the main character is, but that would have all been fine if his hair actually looked better. It's not great hair. It's a giant mop. All they had to do was pull up the points to make it look better.
Oh no, he's hot!
Am I getting mad over hairstyles?
You're serious?
So we then make our way to our hometown, because I guess it's on the way to the Red Orb dungeon. And we find, we then get a weird scene where our character suddenly meets his younger self, who actually talks. And I guess this is why they went with this horribly not marketable subtitle in the name.
You're serious?
But after that, we reach the dungeon, where we get a good taste of the gameplay, which I'll get into a little bit more later on when we got more party members. Either way, this dungeon was so hard. I kinda think running around avoiding monsters was a bad idea.
You're serious?
Although I will say, there are these glowing enemies in the overworld, and if you defeat them, you can actually ride on them, so this egg thing lets you jump up to higher areas. The type of monsters you ride on gets really cool later on, but I feel they sometimes seem tacked on, like you ride them just to get to some area, then you never use them again kind of thing.
Anyway,
We make it to the end and defeat the boss to reclaim the red orb. After which we then head to this hot spring area, because I don't know, every Japanese game needs a hot spring for some reason.
A what now?
But before any fan service, we find this girl looking for her younger sister. And well, we then find some other lost girl, and I don't know how dumb these two are, because they think that blue hair is sister to blonde, and she is like,
Oi, that's not my sister, you.
British swear word.
this girl Veronica now joins our team to help speed up the process of actually finding her real sister, who we eventually locate in this dungeon. Yes, her younger sister, who's 3 times her height.
wait, what?
This is Serena,
I'm going for you, Ola.
and these two are apparently twins, except the boss of this dungeon sapped Veronica's magic to turn her tiny. Thus, we need to get her magic back, and so we go and do that. Veronica gets her power back and nothing changes in her appearance, but now these two join our team. After hearing that we are the Luminary, because just like old Bluey, people love to be around us.
Lit.
We then head to a desert-like area, and I want to mention here, I really like how each region you visit, it's like its own distinct section of our real world. Like the hot springs was more Japanese styled, our home area was more British, and now this place is more Arabian. It's kinda why I like the English dub for this, because they actually use the accents for those areas, making it feel like you are traveling a vast world with different cultures. And this place, I know it's out of context, but holy moly! I think this is the most beautiful area I have ever seen in a video game. Why am I in love with a physical landmark in a game? Anyway, the reason we are in this desert area is to find the Rainbow, a piece of the world tree which might aid us in finding a way to reach it to gain crazy powers to defeat whatever darkness that is growing.
The darkness.
But the prince, he's a bit of a wimp.
Really?
Instead of doing his duty, he wants us to do it for him, like kill this sand beast attacking his kingdom. And in return, he will get us the Rainbow, so away we go, I guess. But not before one of the best characters in the entire game worms his way in.
Finally.
His name is Sylvando, a member of a traveling circus, and he just wants to help us out on the adventure, because he be like that sometimes.
Really?
And thus us five go out to hunt the beast. So here's where I'll get into the gameplay. Now from the footage, you can see that there are no random encounters on the ground map. You see a monster and attack it to get an advantage. Then you get the classic turn-based combat. You have normal attacks, then spells that use MP, which is hard to regenerate, that do more damage or heal your team. Then each character gets abilities that also use MP, but offer more unique moves depending on the character. And these can be unlocked with a skill tree, where leveling up gets you points to use on it. Now the tree is dependent on the weapons you have, since each character can main a few different ones. Like our character can use a sword or a greatsword. You then use the points to get more buffs, abilities, and such that only relate to that weapon. This allows for a lot more customization depending on what weapon you like. Now another aspect to the gameplay is the camp, which you approach at a bonfire in the world. Here is a statue where you can save and heal, but also revive your characters, which cost money.
Damn it.
Yeah, make sure you have money on you, because dying is actually expensive in this game.
Damn it.
But also here is where you can forge weapons, armor, and accessories at this little gizmo Eric gives you.
You'll love it. Behold.
Is he hiding it in his hair or something?
You'll love it.
You pick up the materials in the open world or from monsters and then use them here in this mini game, hammering away to get this bar just right to get more upgraded stuff. Don't worry, it gets easier the more you play. But for now, that's it, as later on there is a bit more to it. But first, we gotta kill this sand scorpion thing. We do that and bring its dead body back to the castle, but oh look, we brought it back and it's still alive. And now the prince has to show he's not a wimp, but he still is. And Sylvando saves the day again.
That's ridiculous.
But guess what? Despite helping old Princey boy, his dad sold off the Rainbow to a merchant to have enough money to host this horse racing tournament every year. Gee, what a nice king.
How strange.
So now I guess it's lucky that Sylvando joins our team, because to get to the merchant we gotta travel across the sea. And somehow this circus employee has enough money for a boat. So we head to the port area, a city resembling our real world Venice. Yes, they speak with Italian accents. No, I'm not doing one. Hey, come on.
You'll love it.
Also in the town, we are able to get outfits for our characters, which includes this catsuit thing for Veronica. This is easily the most adorable thing in the entire game.
That's ridiculous.
That's one thing about this game though, is that to be able to change outfits, you have to have the equipment set. You can't mix and match, and only certain equipment change your looks, and most of them are during the late game. I still say the Tales series is the best at customization in JRPGs, and it would have been great here, especially with how great the character models are. Anyway, so in this beautiful town, we find out from the mayor that no ships are allowed to leave.
Doge?
As the town is busy holding a Mr. Universe competition, i.e. hot dudes posing.
I don't believe this.
But while we wander around, we see that there's this boy who had his voice stolen. So we run off to a cave to get the antidote to cure him. But when we get back,
Damn it, it is. It's him.
it seems like the king's henchmen have invaded the town searching for us. Yes, remember the king?
No.
But through some trickery, just you wait till you step outside, sonny boy, we flee upon our
Giant ship!
alright, we got a ship. On the run from the law, where to next? Wait a minute, where am I? And is that a dragon? You know, I'm starting to understand why it's called Dragon Quest.
What?
Anyway, after like 10 hours, I finally realized something, which I definitely didn't look up on YouTube tips and tricks. But that during battles, you can actually move your character around the match ring. Yes, it's still turn-based, but this just offers up so much more creativity to the user. Stop hurting me. I honestly love this feature so much and wish other JRPGs would copy it, but this then is combined with another thing that is both the greatest and worst feature ever.
Auto battling.
So,
A few JRPGs already have this auto battle feature where you can set the AI to do the battle for you, but however in this game, the AI is actually extremely good at it, which meant that around here, for a long portion of the game, I got really lazy.
Seriously?
Granted, this did backfire on me when I got to a big boss near the mid-game, but it still was pretty fun for me to set auto battle, then just run around the match taking in the sights. And lastly, of course, I have to mention the old Super Saiyan transformation. So at times during a battle, the character will enter this pep mode,
Give me some of that sweet, sweet pep.
getting stronger attacks or more efficient healing for a few turns. But if you have 2 or more characters that have this mode on, you can instead do a pep power that uses up both of their blue energy to do a strong attack or some really huge stat buff. Now personally, while the animations were cool, and some actually did help me during battles, I found that not doing anything with them was more effective. Just letting them keep the blue around to have more stronger attacks for more turns. But hey, that's just me. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.
what was that?
Now all of this combined, the visuals, the engine effects, the character models, the voice acting, the gameplay, all would lead me to love this game as one of my all-time favorites. But there is one key issue stopping that. Now if you know my favorite games, a lot of them have amazing music. Music for me is a huge part as to why I enjoy a video game, which is why I'm kinda disappointed that the music in Dragon Quest XI ain't too great. For one, they used MIDI tracks, which just sounds at odds with the modern improvements the game made. Now you can turn off the music entirely, but that just makes some scenes seem so weird. And even then the songs they use don't often change. As in the cutscenes, you know, they can change moods from happy to angry, but the exact same song is still playing throughout it, unaware of the tone of the scene. All I'm trying to say is that this game would have been absolutely perfect if they managed to get the music on the level of, say, Persona 5 or something like that. But anyway, I still think this is such a great turn-based JRPG. In fact, I would recommend this to everyone. It is very good at introducing you to the style of the gameplay. But there's a big fat warning on this. Be prepared for a really long, slow opening with a generic kind of story. I feel now these days JRPGs try to win you over with some kind of hook or interesting world design to get you invested for the long haul. But here, it honestly took me about 10 hours to get into the good stuff of the game. That and the fact that I really didn't like the hero main journey fantasy story because I enjoyed the side characters' content so much more. Regardless, after that, you will have tons of things to do, including a lengthy post-game. Now I'm serious. I mean, just in this video, there was so much I had to cut out to at least show off a bunch of the gameplay. And even then, there are some things I won't get to talk about ever, like a character being the literal mix of Bulma and Kay Faraday. One thing that's great about this game is the character designs
And you've got great hair, too.
Wait, I was just joking.
Seriously?
Though not really.
Trojan, RamZaes, Magnum, Sheik.